You went to bed angry last night. Maybe it was the bills piling up on your kitchen table. Maybe it was someone who wronged you, someone who disrespected you, someone who made you feel small. Maybe it was just the crushing weight of another day where nothing changed, where you worked hard and got nowhere, where you tried and failed again. And this morning you woke up to the same financial prison, the same loop, the same lack, the same empty bank account mocking you. Here is what you do not know. The emotion you carry into sleep becomes the seed of tomorrow's harvest. Neville Goddard called this the most dangerous mistake a person can make. Not because anger is wrong, but because anger at bedtime is a prayer. And God always says, yes, tonight you will learn to sleep wealthy, not someday, not when conditions change. Tonight. Because the mystic who decoded the Bible's hidden wealth codes left us a technique so simple, so profound, that it rewrites your financial destiny while you dream. Stay with me. This is not theory. This is not philosophy. This is the chemical marriage of mind and money, and it starts the moment you close your eyes. Let us begin with the wound. Ephesians 4 verse 26 says, "Let not the sun go down upon your wrath." For 2,000 years we read this as moral advice. Be nice, forgive, move on, turn the other cheek. But Neville Goddard saw deeper. He taught that this verse is not about ethics, it is about metaphysics. It is an instruction manual for wealth creation, because the subconscious mind does not sleep. When your body rests, when your conscious mind shuts down, your subconscious mind goes to work. It takes the last emotional state you impressed upon it and begins building tomorrow's reality brick by brick, thought by thought, feeling by feeling. Think about last night. You scrolled through bills you could not pay. You replayed the argument with your spouse about money. You felt the tightness in your chest, that knot of anxiety and rage. That feeling, that emotional frequency, became your instruction to the universe, to the divine mind that shapes your world. Not your words, not your hopes, not your prayers, your feeling. Neville Goddard said, "Feeling is the secret." The subconscious does not argue, it does not filter, it does not judge, it creates. If you fall asleep in lack, you wake up in lack. If you fall asleep in resentment, you wake up surrounded by reasons to resent. If you fall asleep feeling poor, you wake up to a world that confirms your poverty. This is why most people never break the cycle. They spend 16 hours trying to fix their outer world. They hustle, they work overtime, they apply for loans, they read books, they watch videos like this one. Then they spend the final 30 minutes before sleep destroying everything they built. They watch the news broadcasting disaster, they rehearse their problems, they argue with ghosts, they replay every humiliation, and the subconscious mind says, "Understood, more of this please." Joseph Murphy, who studied under the same teachers as Neville, called the subconscious mind a garden. Whatever you plant at night grows while you sleep. Most people are planting weeds and wondering why they harvest thorns. Here is the block you must understand. You think your financial reality is about your job, your skills, your economy, your education, your connections. It is not. Your financial reality is about your sleep state, the state you enter before unconsciousness. The mystics knew this. The Kabbalists knew this. The ancient mystery schools guarded this truth. Job 33 verse 15 says, "In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls upon men, God opens the ears of men and seals their instruction." Seals their instruction, not suggests, not proposes. Seals. What you accept as true in the drowsy state before sleep becomes law in your waking world. This is not symbolism. This is not poetry. This is mechanics. This is the operating system of reality. You have been programming failure every night of your life without knowing it. Tonight that changes. Neville Goddard told a story that changed thousands of lives. A businessman came to him bankrupt, not struggling, not in debt, bankrupt. He had lost everything. His business collapsed, his wife left, his friends disappeared. He was sleeping on a friend's couch, barely eating, barely surviving. Every night he fell asleep rehearsing the disaster, replaying the moment the bank called, feeling the shame wash over him, the fear paralyzing him, the rage burning in his chest. And every morning he woke up to more proof that he was finished, more rejection letters, more bills, more evidence that life was over. Neville looked at him and said something that sounded insane. "You are not bankrupt because you lost money. You lost money because you are bankrupt in imagination." The man did not understand. How could imagination cause bankruptcy? Neville explained, "Every night you fall asleep in the feeling of failure, and the subconscious mind, which does not judge, which does not reason, which only accepts, takes this as your dominant state. Then it goes to work making your outer world match your inner world. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are not a victim of the economy. You are a victim of your sleep." The man asked, "What do I do? How do I fix this?" Neville gave him one instruction. "Tonight, before you sleep, enter the state akin to sleep. That drowsy, delicious state between waking and sleeping where the conscious mind relaxes its grip and the subconscious becomes receptive. In that state, feel yourself as the man you want to be, not the man you hope to be someday, the man you are now in imagination." The businessman went home that night. As he lay on the couch in his friend's living room, he closed his eyes and imagined himself in a beautiful home. He felt the texture of silk sheets against his skin. He heard the sound of his children laughing in another room. He smelled coffee brewing in his kitchen. He felt the weight of success in his chest, that deep, calm confidence that comes from knowing you are provided for, not as fantasy, not as wish, as fact. He fell asleep in that feeling. The next morning, nothing changed. His bank account was still empty, the bills were still there, but he repeated it, night after night, falling asleep wealthy, falling asleep loved, falling asleep restored. Within 6 months, everything changed. He had rebuilt his business from nothing, new home, reconciled marriage, wealth beyond what he lost. Neville said he did not attract success. He became success in imagination first, and the outer world had no choice but to conform. This is the power of the state akin to sleep. This is the secret the mystics whispered. William Blake, the poet mystic Neville studied obsessively, wrote, "All that we see is vision. From the moment you wake until the moment you sleep, you are walking through a world your imagination built yesterday. If you want a different world tomorrow, you must build it tonight, in the silence, in the dark, in the sacred space between conscious thought and subconscious creation. This is not positive thinking, this is not affirmations, this is restructuring reality at its source." Now we arrive at the remedy. Neville Goddard taught a technique so radical, so simple, that most people dismiss it as impossible. He called it revision. Here is how it works. At the end of every day, before you enter sleep, before you allow unconsciousness to take you, you review the day. Not to judge it, not to regret it, to revise it. Every moment that did not reflect the person you are becoming, you rewrite in imagination. That argument with your boss, you revise it. See it ending in peace, in mutual respect. Feel the peace. That bill you could not pay, revise it. See yourself paying it with ease, with abundance to spare. Feel the ease. That rejection, revise it. See acceptance, feel accepted, feel celebrated. You are not lying to yourself. You are not denying reality. You are changing the past in imagination. And because time is an illusion of the conscious mind, because the subconscious does not distinguish between past, present, and future, revision rewrites the emotional charge of memory. When you change the memory, you change the seed. When you change the seed, you change the harvest. Neville said, "The pruned branch bears more fruit. Revision is pruning. You are cutting away the dead wood of failure, anger, and lack, so your subconscious can grow wealth, love, and abundance in its place. Here is the metaphysical truth most people miss. Your current financial situation is not happening now. It is the echo of old emotional states. The lack you see today is last month's anger solidified into form. The debt you carry is last year's fear made physical. The rejection you experience is last week's self-doubt crystallized into circumstance. Neville taught that creation is finished. Everything already exists in the quantum field, in the realm of imagination. You are not creating wealth. You are selecting it, and you select it by the state you occupy before sleep. If you revise the day before sleep, you are selecting a different timeline. A timeline where you are always successful, always loved, always provided for. A timeline where lack never touched you. Joseph Murphy, in The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, confirms this principle. The subconscious mind cannot take a joke. It takes everything literally. It believes everything you feel is real. When you revise the day and feel it as real, your subconscious says, "This is what happened. This is the truth," and it adjusts your future to match. This is not magic. This is not wishful thinking. This is the science of consciousness. Abdullah, the Ethiopian Kabbalist teacher who trained Neville Goddard in the mystical laws, told him, "You are already the person you want to be. You are just remembering it in the wrong order." Revision puts you back in the right order. It aligns your inner timeline with your desired outer timeline. It makes yesterday serve tomorrow. Let us bring this directly into your bank account right now. Today, you are carrying financial anger. Maybe you resent your boss for underpaying you. Maybe you resent your parents for not teaching you about money, for leaving you unprepared. Maybe you resent yourself for past mistakes, for that business that failed, for that investment you lost. Every night you fall asleep with that resentment buzzing in your chest like a trapped wasp. And every morning you wonder why money avoids you, why opportunities pass you by, why wealth flows to others but never to you. Here is why. Money is energy. Resentment is resistance. You cannot resent and receive at the same time. Neville Goddard said, "You must be in the state of the wish fulfilled, not hoping for it, not working toward it, not believing it might happen someday. In it, now, occupying it as fact." Tonight you will practice what Neville called the Lullaby Method. As you lie in bed, as your body begins to relax, as your muscles release the tension of the day, you will repeat a short phrase that implies your wealth is already here. Not, "I will be wealthy." That pushes wealth into the future, forever out of reach. Instead, "Thank you." 2 words, thank you. Thank you for what? For everything. For the wealth that is already yours. For the abundance that already flows. Neville taught that gratitude is the signature of the fulfilled state. You do not thank for what you hope to get. You thank for what you already have. In imagination, you already have it. In the only realm that matters, you are already wealthy. So thank. Repeat it slowly, with feeling. Thank you. Thank you. Let the words dissolve into feeling. Stop thinking about the words. Feel the relief. Feel the safety of knowing your bills are paid. Feel the abundance of knowing more is coming. Your conscious mind will argue. It will scream. It will say, "But you are broke. But the rent is due. But the car is breaking down." Ignore it. The conscious mind is a liar. It only sees what was. It only reports on the past disguised as the present. The subconscious mind sees what is becoming. As you drift into sleep, let the phrase carry you into unconsciousness. Thank you, thank you. You are not asking, you are not begging, you are acknowledging, and acknowledgement is creation. Do not look for external proof. You are the operant power. When you fall asleep in the feeling of wealth, you are not pretending. You are not fantasizing. You are issuing a decree to the unformed substance of reality. You are stamping paid on the debts of your life before the world even wakes up to see it. This is how Neville Goddard worked. He did not wait for signs. He assumed the end and let the world rearrange itself around that inner decree. William Blake said, "What is now proved was once only imagined." Your wealth already exists in imagination. The version of you that is financially free already exists. Tonight, you stop imagining lack, you stop rehearsing poverty, you start imagining plenty, and you do it in the only place that matters, the only place where creation happens, the last 5 minutes before sleep. Here is your metaphysical resolution. Sleeping angry does not just ruin your mood or disturb your rest. It blocks the flow of divine supply, because anger is a state of separation, a state of contraction, and wealth is a state of union, a state of expansion. Neville Goddard taught that imagination is God. When you imagine wealth before sleep, you are not daydreaming. You are communing with the infinite intelligence that creates worlds, that spins galaxies, that orchestrates all supply. You are not begging, you are commanding. You are not hoping, you are assuming, and assumption, when persisted in, hardens into fact. This is law. This is principle. This is how creation works. The conclusion is simple but not easy. Your financial future is not determined by the economy, your education, your past failures, or your current circumstances. It is determined by the state you fall asleep in tonight. If you fall asleep grateful, you wake up blessed. If you fall asleep assuming wealth, you wake up wealthy, not someday, not eventually, now. Because the subconscious does not wait for permission, it does not wait for conditions to change, it builds while you sleep. It creates while you dream. Neville said, "An assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact." Your assumption tonight is your fact tomorrow. Your feeling tonight is your fortune tomorrow. Every night is a blank canvas. Every sleep is a new creation. Stop carrying yesterday's anger into tonight's creation chamber. Stop poisoning your sleep with resentment. Stop programming lack when you could program abundance. The technique is simple. Revise your day, enter the state akin to sleep, repeat your lullaby of gratitude, and fall asleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Do this tonight. Do this tomorrow night. Do this until it becomes as natural as breathing, and watch your world transform. This is your invitation to join a community that understands this law, that practices this principle, that lives this truth. Subscribe to Neville Goddard Decoded. Because wealth is not a secret kept from you by some cosmic conspiracy. It is a state you refuse to enter because you think your current circumstances are more real than your imagination. They are not. Every video on this channel is a doorway into a wealthier state. Every teaching is a key to unlock the abundance that is already yours. And every night is a new chance to rewrite your story, to revise your past, to create your future. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for proof. The infinite intelligence is listening right now. Your subconscious is ready right now. Click subscribe, join the manifestors, and tonight, sleep like the wealthy person you already are in imagination. Neville Goddard left us with this eternal truth. You are all imagination, and imagination is God Himself. The I am that you are is the creator of your world. Do not sleep angry. Do not sleep in lack. Sleep abundant, sleep loved, sleep free, sleep wealthy. Because the person you are in imagination is the person you become in fact. That is the law, that is the promise, and that is your inheritance as an expression of the divine mind.